Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy. There's only one way to bring order back to barbecuing. Just add Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce and seasoning, and you be the judge.
I want to stay on Jay-Z for a second because the woman, remember last week we was talking about the woman who is the Jane Doe who does not want to identify herself, saying that she was 13 in 2003 at a music award show after party where she was essayed at, right? And she was blaming Jay-Z and she was blaming Diddy. So
God.
Yes. So the women who
Getting absurd, by the way.
it is. So the woman who threw Jay-Z name on this case in her lawsuit, civil lawsuit, right? She did an interview with NBC. Let me just play the clip.
Like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman says she spoke to Combs's limo driver who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper because I have a religious background. So it was just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
JC comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the.
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but that's something that would definitely stick in my mind, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said that she stands by her statement.
All right. Daddy doesn't remember it. Come on. Daddy doesn't remember it. He has to early in the morning come pick you up miles away from home at a gas station. Come on now.
And you came there with your friend.
Yeah, but your dad doesn't remember picking you up to rescue you? Oh, come on now.
So when we're talking about these...
What was the girl that did the accusation that just recanted after 18 years?
Oh, we're going to get into her. Yeah, I totally forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
But this is a civil lawsuit and it's nothing but a big money grab.
Or
Right. And it's a lot of that.
It may not be the case, but I mean, oftentimes it is.
So Jay-Z attorney Alex Spiro, he spoke out for the first time since the Star's legal woes
arose.
How's Mr. Cobb feeling? He's upset. He's upset that somebody would be allowed to do this. They would make a mockery of the system like this. He's upset that this distracts and dissuades real victims from coming forward. He's upset that his kids and his family have to deal with this. He's upset. And he should be upset.
Will Mr. Carter say anything more specifically about Mr. Combs? He didn't really address him in his statement, but anything since outlets and internet speculation have tried to affiliate to him. He didn't really in his statement specifically say anything about any of the allegations.
I mean, Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, just like in all professions. People know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. If you go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. That's all that there is. He doesn't know anything about the charges for allegations against him. He has nothing to do with that case. And there's nothing more to say.
Yeah. What they're trying to connect him to Diddy so bad. Why is that? Do you think
That's part of this feminist thing. And also part of, there are lawyers out there who chase ambulances, and there are lawyers out there who have no scruples. And maybe this is not one of those cases, but maybe it is. Money, fame, agenda. Would you please? There, down.
and the Duke lacrosse? It says more than 18 years after Duke lacrosse allegations, Crystal Mangum admits that she made it all up. I testified falsely against the lacrosse players by saying that they had art me when they didn't. I made up a story that wasn't true. I hope that they can forgive me.
That's in every major newspaper, news service in the country. And Facebook has a problem with repeating it. What is wrong with them?
We're talking
It's fallen that far in America, so we let these folk pull off this tyranny against free speech.
And I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong. And I hope that they can forgive me.
Should they forgive her?
She should be sent to jail.
She is in prison. She's in prison for killing her boyfriend.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
A man thing. Okay.
That interview was taken at the women's prison.
Oh. Intriguing.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm trying to pull up the situation. Oh, she look a mess. Look at this. You see this? Woman convicted of murdering boyfriend blames police prejudice. I want people to know the truth. Crystal Magnum's son witnessed his terrified and battered mother come rushing into their Durham, North Carolina home in 2011. The young boy called police for help. His mother, 32, told him that she had been with her boyfriend, 46-year-old Reginald Day, and after getting in a fight, Magnum stabbed Day. She kept telling me like he was beating her, that she did it in self-defense. I was definitely scared for her I've never seen her frantic like that. And this is her mugshot. I think she had mental health issues. So she was sentenced in November 2013. She went on trial for Reginald Day's murder. My biggest fears were that people were going to judge me based on the Duke case and not on the facts. Prosecutors called Magnum's ex-boyfriend as a witness. He provided damaging testimony. On November 22nd, 2013, she was found guilty of Day's murder and sentenced to 14 to 18 years in prison. So, yeah. And then I guess she wanted to clear her conscience.
Duke University, you owe an apology to folks for buying into that mess, but you see what happens every time there's an accusation. It's not always true.
Exactly. Now, Duke University had to pay those boys, I think, $15 to $20 million. Oh, they got paid. And they also those boys started a nonprofit organization because I remember watching that documentary and they were saying how for a minute, because they know about their white privilege, but they said that they could understand how corrupt this system is, especially the criminal justice system. So they started an organization to help people who can't afford lawyers and stuff like that, or who was wrongfully convicted. And it does help particularly a lot of Black men, right? So they did good as far as they didn't just,
There's a myth that it only impacts Black men. You'd qualify jurors, and I would pre-qualify jurors before they even got in the box to be selected by the lawyers. So I'd have 7,550 prospective jurors out there in the courtroom. And I would do this thing where I would have them sit in the position that they would be called. I'd have all 150 called so they would have a number so everybody could know who's coming up next without the long delay of the bailiff spinning the drum around and pulling something out. And I'd ask the question, has anybody in here not either been personally arrested, had a spouse arrested, or had whose spouse has been arrested, brother, sister, anybody? And out of the 150, you might have just 2 hands up where nobody in the family or themselves has not been arrested. So in other words, white, black, brown, red, yellow, I don't care what you are. When you look at the audience these days, when the audience are prospective jurors, damn near 100% of them always report that somebody in their family, somebody close to them, somebody they've worked with, somebody they've known, or themselves personally has had the experience of having been arrested. So it's almost a ubiquitous experience now, white, black, brown, red, yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Then the question goes, would you hold that against the state in terms of them proving their case, or would you allow that to enhance your perspective on reasonable doubt and the need that the state has to prove its case beyond the reasonable doubt?